Hey, what's going on, you guys? We're up all night with your boy Deszi. I got a special guest. This is my dog. Well, pretty much everybody y'all seen on here, I've known in some capacity. We've done something, but this is my dog, man. Mr. Jonathan Niblack, Mr. Business Consultant himself. He's done everything. Welcome, bro.
Hey, man.
It shouldn't be this hard to get you on here with me, man. I mean, I gave him that intro, y'all, but it's been hard to get this bro on here.
He's just pulling y'all chain. He's just been crazy. You know, I'm gonna do like everybody else and blame it on the corona. You know what I'm saying?
Nah. Well, listen here. I'm glad I got you on here. Now we're just gonna do some real talk. People don't know, man. For those, me and you know so many people in time. This is how long I've been knowing you. My son was 1 year old when we first met and going at the same job, and he's 20 now. How old is your son now?
My son is 18 now. He's 19. He's 18. He'll be 19.
He had to be. I know he was close in years because you had kids a couple of years after me when y'all had your first. Buddy, that's how long we've been knowing each other. Our kids are in college now. That's crazy. And them suckers were just crawling on the floor. Also, you one of the realest dudes. You know, we're in the land of Atlanta. It ain't as Hollywood as it was back then.
Right.
But, you know, the way that we met, being in a marketing firm, being at an e-commerce site, you know how people say they know everybody, they do this. You know, most people are braggadocious. So it's quite funny for me because I don't talk about music. I never talked about music when I was in it. I don't talk about music now that I'm out of it. So most people don't even know I was even in the music industry at one point in time. So to hear you actually talk one time at the job, like, yeah, I'm going, I don't even think you bragged about name dropping. You just said I'm doing an event or something. I remember being at Club Kaya. And I ain't talked to Randy and D in a long time, by the way. Bridge 12.
I was just about to ask about them too.
I got to find my players, man. I don't know where they are. I got to find them. So shouts out to you guys. But I remember this is my first introduction. Like, oh, this dude was real. He was talking. He was a silent assassin. I didn't even know. So we go into Club Kaya, and next thing you know, I'm seeing Jermaine Dupree on this side. I'm seeing P. Diddy on this side. I'm seeing Usher and Chili right here. And you know what song was popping? Was I Need a Girl. And I'm like, oh, this is surreal. This is crazy. Oh, this dude really knows some people. He wasn't just about it. So that was my introduction to this dude, man. So what you up to now, man? And give people a little history about what you did.
Well, nowadays I'm trying to keep all that quiet because my wife, she actually thinks I talk about it too much. She's like, you always name drop. I'm like, you know, people didn't used to say that about me, but you know, now I'm just trying to say, yeah, I know that person, or yeah, we can do this. You know, she's like, yeah, she's like, where the money at? Where the money at?
And that's a low blow. That's a low blow. And she doing like Roy. You got to do like Roy Jones, man. Y'all must have forgot.
Right. No, but just giving a little bit of it's funny, Des, because I actually, it does turn my stomach a little bit to talk about it, because back in the day, that was one of the things I had, like all these folks talking, and I'm back here in the office all night to 2, 3 in the morning trying, and you all don't even have a clue of what it takes to take this thing to the next level. But just giving a little history, all I can say is everybody. I started out, believe it or not, working for the Olympics. And I know that sounds really crazy, but I'm gonna give you all a little history of all of it. I was in college. There was a group called New Mode, which you probably never heard of.
All right.
New Mode was performing, and it was my boys at a club. We were all there. MC Light and her dad was at the club. They saw the guys performing, and they started asking around who knows these guys. And so I stepped up and said, "Oh yeah, those are my guys." And they were like, "Well, do you represent them?" And of course, you know, just in my personality back then, "Oh yeah, I represent them." You know, what you trying to do? Anyway, that sparked a meeting, and while I was in school, that's where I learned about the behind the scenes things of how the industry worked. Because Nat Robinson, who was with First Priority Records, he really took to me and started showing me how you would develop a group. Now, New Mode never came out because of, it's just like that sometimes in the industry. I mean, they had the setup, but it just never came about. But the relationships from there sparked a myriad of things. So, and I'm giving you all of this real quick just to give you a little history of just how life goes, because we're still in school, left school, went out on tour with MC Light, Roughneck tour, spot dates, came back, finished school, went
what
overseas.
School?
I was at Morehouse.
Gotta throw that out there, brother. You could not say that, sir. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Finished school. Now, yes, I did finish it. Yes, I graduated. Finished school. And at that point, I was still trying to make it in the industry, but I had to get a job. So gotcha. I worked for, I think, the Olympic Committee at this time for doing billing and all this other stuff. And one artist that I was working with, because at this point now I'm kind of in the industry doing it part-time, which is why I tell everybody, continue your hustle, because it doesn't always happen the way you think it is. Right. And this artist, I was working with Christopher Young, who was one of the members of Nuvo. Yeah. That artist ended up getting signed at So So Def, which is when Jermaine and his dad pulled me into So So Def to help with management because of that artist. Now, I'm giving all of this, if you don't mind, Des, you can shut me up, but I'm giving this so people can understand, the process of it. Because like I said, it doesn't always work out the way that you think it's going to work out, but then it does work out. In the midst of that journey, I was at So So Def for a minute. I ended up having to leave So So Def, but we'll keep that quiet. But while I was at So So Def, I worked with
we want it all. We want the exclusive. Go ahead. We'll get back to that, y'all. We'll give him a drink in a minute. Go ahead.
Yeah. I worked at I worked with Chris Cross. I worked with Brad. I worked with Escape. Of course, I worked with Jermaine, DJ Nabs, all of the artists while we're over there. But one of the monumental things that happened, for lack of a better term, you can lose. I will give this history. You know what? It doesn't even matter. I had a very good relationship with Brad at the time, and I was going through some things. And, and this goes to show you about the decisions you make. And there's another decision I made in my journey, which I'll share as well. But I ended up borrowing some money from Brad because of some situations that I was going through.
Right.
I could not pay the money back at the immediate time. I did pay the money back, but at the time that it was due, I didn't pay it, which caused a slight issue. So the label found out that I had borrowed this money, even though I didn't ask her for it. She is such a kind-hearted person. There's another side of these artists that you don't know. Like Brad is we don't even speak anymore, not just because of situation or circumstance, but she's probably one of the most heartfelt artists I've ever worked with. Now, everybody has their quirks. It is what it is. But it was because I was in a situation, she offered to help me. But it broke the rules. You're not supposed to, when you're working at a label in a company, you're not supposed to do that. So it ended up causing me to get terminated. However, I'll just say this. Life has a great cycle. Like even today, which will be at the end of my story, even today I'm working with Jermaine. So it's not like it was the end of the world, but it was the process. But in the midst of that, because of the work I did with Jermaine at So So Def, when I got let go, I ended up working with Tyler Perry. I learned a whole nother facet of the industry. When Tyler Perry did I Know I've Been Changed, I was with him working on his set to help that get put up at the Fox. At the Tabernacle. And so we did all of that work. I mean, like up all night just to put on a wonderful show, which propelled his career. When you hear him tell the story about his car being stopped on the side of the road and having to get picked up in his hard times, it was me and my wife at the time who picked him up on the side of the road. Those are the stories that you...
It's crazy, man. You hear them stories, your guts just churning.
And people don't know. But, I just thank God for allowing me to have the experience because of when I look at my kids, when I look at how I'm living, when I'm looking at everything that I have, I don't discount. I thank the Lord for it. My process was my process. But I'm going to put a pause here and say, you have to always be sure that you know what you're chasing. If you're chasing the fame, if you're chasing the process, or if you're just chasing who you're supposed to be. And I will always tell everybody, just chase who you're supposed to be and let everything else work itself out. The notoriety will work itself out, the money will work itself out, and your personal happiness will work itself out. So After I left,
Wish you would have told me that. I wish you would have gave me that speech.
Hey, I had to live this life to learn it, because during this process I was chasing a lot of things. And I'm gonna put another commercial break in here because I have to give this to you.
Go for it.
Be careful, to all of you, especially you young bucks out here. Be careful on a haterade. I don't know if that's a played word or whatever. You know, I'm proud of my gray and my age.
It don't matter. Yeah.
But be careful of the hater, because that energy that you put out. Be grateful for where you are in any situation. Right. And even though people may be doing you wrong, or you think people are doing you right, don't dwell on that, and don't even necessarily call it out. You just function accordingly to protect yourself. It doesn't mean that you need to broadcast things, because I noticed as my energy changed, my life changed. It was a long period that all I focused on was what recognition I didn't get, what accolades I didn't get, what people didn't hear, you know, and that perpetuated a certain lifestyle and spiral for me that wasn't healthy, it wasn't good, it wasn't productive. But when I got to the point of just walking in true forgiveness and walking in accountability for me,
right?
Oh, you know,
it was good.
Touch me right now today. I mean, that's just
it was a weight lifted off of you that you didn't have to carry.
Weight lifted off of me. So, and going back to the story, Deszi, you can cut me off or ask me whatever you need to.
Keep rolling, man. It's all good. Most of my shows are about 40 minutes long anyway, so go for it.
So after I was working with Tyler, and the show was taking off, it got to it because at that point I was married, and it was a lot of drama going on. And Deszi even knew me at this time, and I didn't really talk about it, but because of everything that was going on, I really couldn't go and propel myself the way I thought I should with Tyler, with what was going on. But I got a phone call. We were at a For Sisters Only event, and I was walking backstage, don't even know why, how, whatever, saw Usher, and it was at that point I saw his mom. That's what it is. I saw his mom. I didn't know that his mom, because of what I was doing at So Def, was inquiring about who I was and where I was and why I wasn't around anymore. Because, you know, Usher had worked with, we all had a lot of the same inner workings, because there's even a production company called Tim and Ted, they were Flapjack Productions that I worked with at that point, and they did Call Me a Mac on Usher. So the circle in Atlanta was like real tight.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, she sought after me, hired, and I did probably my longest run with Usher at that time, working in the management office. I was operations manager for the management arm for everything that Usher was doing, which was how he and I's relationship ended up growing so tight, because we basically grew up together.
I remember sneaking over there from work, because you know I used to work across the bridge over there, Norcross, at J-Pat, and I used to sneak right on over there every now and then.
Yep.
Anyway, I don't even know if they. I remember it vividly, sir. Go for it.
So, and that was probably the most. That was my education about family in this industry, about loyalty, about work ethic, about hard work, about everything not being what it seems. It was just a phenomenal time. And I was with Usher, got fired from Usher, got hired back from Usher. That was just a part of life of where I started understanding you really can't take this thing personal. You make it personal, becomes personal. Right. But really, truly, it's just business.
It is business.
There are gaps in my story because, like, if you know who Jonte Austin is, Jonte just did.
After the battle, I think everybody knows who he is now.
He just did the battle. What most people don't know is Chris Young, who owns BYSB Talent Agency, which is for actors and actresses, and myself, we found Jonte and worked with him and his mom Carlotta when he used to be on.
It's crazy, y'all.
But he used to be on the television show here, not here, but in Atlanta. Yeah, and that's what we found him. We ended up doing his deal with RCA. His deal with RCA led him to start writing and producing, and then he ended up doing a deal with Noontime, and then so forth. So sporadically, it's not even on the contract. To this day, I still work with Jonte, depending upon whatever he needs. You understand? So it's about when you build yourself and build your brand, and you have your energy right. It's not about necessarily going out here and having a job, which is why I tell people, or people say, well, Niblack's a consultant. If it's something you need to do, you're trying to do in this industry, then usually Niblack is connected to make it happen, and that's really kind of what I'm known for. And a lot of people don't know what I have. People, and I'm getting a lot of people don't know if I'm broke, if I'm rich, if I'm middle of the road, and I don't care. I mean, I tell you, I learned such a lesson about keeping my energy together, keeping my self-worth together, not worrying about what the masses think. It changes your life.
It's probably why we connected so much, man, because our personality's been like that for a long time. You don't know. They don't know the struggle. But it doesn't matter. You just keep going with it. But you're right.
You keep on. And I don't know if you all are familiar with Rico Love, and this is the time you and I. This is one of my. So Rico Love is a producer out of Miami. He went to FAMU with Edward Long, and I was at Newburgh at the time. I won't call him Edward Long Jr., Cody. And I've been. I mean, that's my spiritual brother. He's still my spiritual pastor all day, every day. But he and Rico were like best friends. Edward introduced me to Rico. I took Rico and Eddie and them to Usher. And here's where it gets interesting. So Usher was.
Come on in. Hold on. Let me pause. Let me get my tea, man. All right, bro. I'm back. I had to get tea. And just in case y'all know, this right here is a little backwards, but I don't need Google because my husband knows everything. I love the best thing you can get there.
Yeah, I had a cup like that once. I think she threw it away.
Well, that's why I bought 4 of them. So,
amen. Smart man. Because hey, like the cup says, you know everything. You know what's coming.
He's like, I thought I threw that away. No, you didn't throw that away. It was another one. Yeah, I don't know where I broke us off, man. I stopped us for a tea break. Where we at?
We were talking about Rico. But I was saying that
Rico Love,
a lesson about energy. Brought Rico over to Usher, did the introduction, and I just knew everything was perfect. Everything was going to be gravy. Next thing I know, once the contract was get signed, Rico had already had management. Then the label, I ended up getting into it with Janetta, which is Usher's mom, great person. And we had our differences. So with me no longer being there, it ended up that, everything was moving with, Usher, Ludacris, Lil Jon, Rico, and them were working on the album, and everything kind of progressed. But because then I was no longer there, my conversation was nowhere to be heard. I went to Rico. Rico's like, I got management, which he was correct. I was salty. I was mad. I was upset. I held his grudge. In his career, he was just flourishing. Everybody else was just flourishing. But I was in a rut. And that's when I learned, that was one of my biggest lessons about energy. And I changed myself, but it was years later. I don't know if you all remember the Social Death reunion.
The reunion?
Atlanta.
Yeah.
That was the next time I ran into Rico.
Oh, okay. Pause. Cause you ain't finna run over to and skip past this part where you left Usher and that was the last time, because who was collateral damage during that time? Because I think I lost it then too. And shouts out to Louise Ferguson and attorney Kendall Minter, because they stepped up during that time. Because that's the same time when I was grown then, our kids were older. I had to make a choice. Like, I'm tired of this entertainment stuff. And probably right after you got us hooked up and signed that contract with Usher, and then we found out, I don't even know if it was a good 60 days later. I was like, what happened? And then I remember, I think it was DJ Roger Jr. took over probably, I think after you or something. And I remember like, This is it, man. We finally, and then Confessions, if I'm not mistaken, came out after that. And I was, bro, I didn't want to hear the radio no more. I turned the radio off. I was like, I don't want to hear no music. I ain't looking at the BET Awards. I didn't want to see no Soul Train Awards. I was done with music. I said, you know what? Let me go be a father, and I'm gone. Yeah. Y'all can have music back.
And that goes back, and that goes to it too. That goes to show too how energy. And when they talk about vibration, and it does not take anything away from God, because God created all of that. But it goes, you never know how the decisions that you make and the things you get yourself involved affects other people. Because for a long time, and I owe you an apology, Deszi. For a long time, I felt responsible for the fact that what I started, I couldn't finish.
Yeah, now you're good.
And I appreciate that. But it taught me a lesson, because when I saw Rico again, it was a confirmation for me of where my heart was, because I had nothing but love for him. And when I hugged him and I asked him forgiveness for how I felt, that brother didn't even know I was mad at him.
Good stuff.
So who was really,
you were holding all that energy yourself?
And right after I hugged him, he did a post and thanked me for introducing him to Usher and all sorts of people. Everybody's hitting me on Instagram. I get all this and all sorts of stuff. But it was my point to all of that is sometimes you have to learn to just walk in forgiveness and worry about you, because you're not hurting the other person.
Right, exactly. They moved on.
You're hurting yourself.
Yeah.
And now when I walk in what I call my circle, I don't have to publicize it. I don't have to be conniving. I don't have to figure out what angle. Just where my energy is, I can walk in with any of those guys and be embraced. And I'm in the middle of deals, like I was saying, I'm in the middle of a deal right now with Jermaine and a few others. And, Usher and I's relationship, great. We still talk and text. It's just so, it's kind of like this industry never, I won't say never. It's not always the road you think you're going to be on.
Right, exactly.
But if you're consistent, you have the right energy about yourself,
you can do it
right where you're supposed
to be.
Yeah. Because right now today, I wouldn't want to work for a label anyway. Why?
Right. Yeah. It's not. It ain't even. It's funny because that was different. How the industry has changed. It doesn't even really matter as much as it used to.
Not even.
You know what I mean?
But when I was young, that's what I was mad about. I'm supposed to be.
So that's what everybody wanted back then. That's what you were all chasing. Is that thing, man? It's all good. But here we are now. But I'm with you on the energy stuff, man. And you have to let stuff go. And like you said, that 100-pound gorilla on your back. Once you let that go, you're like, man, you know how much it's time I wasted holding on to that thing forever. And I was like that with music too. I guess when people talk to me about it, I don't feel that anger or whatever it is, animosity now that I did then. I had it for so long, man. I was like, it was all good. It was fun. I met some cool people. Life was good.
That's it.
And you're right. And those connections are still there, just like you. You still can call them. You talk to them. Like, yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah. So, if you need, and which goes into where I am now with my consulting. Now I have enough time that I do day trading, so I do FX, Forex trading, and then I'm able to consult with guys in the music industry. I was working with Zone 4 just last year with the artists that they have, the different video productions that they were doing. Polo was doing over there through a company called Pivotal.
Okay.
Lelania, she's a great creative mind, and she brought me on to help her with that. I am, for lack of a better term, because I don't want to give too much, but there are companies that are working in the cannabis industry right now, and they're doing cross branding deals. Okay. So I'm in the middle of that. And a lot of these artists are looking like other ways to marry the followers and marketing that they have with the Fortune 500 companies and the money that they have. And I just kind of get in the middle, bring the pieces together, a couple of hours a day, I move on, and I collect a check.
Gotcha. So makes sense.
That's where I'm at. So Deszi, now I'm going to shut up and let you ask whatever questions you want to ask, because I know we will be up all night.
Bro, it was so much. That's the stuff that I love for people to hear, though. I mean, it's you answered a lot in just telling people the stories because that's literally the history of music. I know things have changed now. It seems a little easier because I guess the way to get your information out there is easier, but it's still harder now because there's thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people with talent that you can see right in your face. And how do you distinguish yourself through all of that that's going on there? So my question to you, I guess that will bring it in. Have you guys come up with where do you even think about that since you may not be on that part of direct artist development type style?
Yeah, so let me say this. That Corona, no, just playing.
I thought I had it last night, bro. I couldn't stop a cough, and then I realized my ceiling fan was on, and then my wife looked at me. She was like, "Stupid, your ceiling fan's on."
Yeah, now that was just that pork meat the other day. But so good music always wins. I mean,
True.
Good music always wins. But the best way to distinguish yourself right now is look at your Chance the Rappers, look at your guys that are out there making noise with good music and actually having something to say behind the music.
Right.
Then you can the tools now. So it used to be honestly, and you all, I hope that they still this industry used to be ran by a select few.
Right.
Most people don't want to admit it. They want to think it's conspiracy theories and all this. I was in it. I'm telling you.
It is.
Those who were going to be big were selected.
Right.
It was determined who was made and who wasn't made. And that's just the God honest truth. You can believe it or not believe it. I'm telling you what I know, not what I think. That has kind of changed now. There's still those behind the scenes who are trying to, who still control media per se.
Right.
But then there's a certain portion of media they can't control. And
can't stop evolution.
Chance is one of those things. He built his social media following up so strong, his SoundCloud up. He was giving away music. He didn't have to do a deal.
Right.
He was able to be in control of his own destiny. For those who can mimic that, and they think it's overnight, it's never overnight. It takes work, consistency, and persistency. It's never overnight. I just don't know. Everybody you think is overnight, when you talk to them, it was never overnight.
You like, buddy, you were there at 15 in the backyard playing with you. Yeah, I've been doing it since I was a baby trying to do this.
But if you listen to what the people want, if you listen to what the kids want, and you get that following going organically, then you become a force that you have to be dealt with. And then that's when you make your move. Because a lot of these artists don't understand. Yeah, you think you may want a deal, but let's just give it out here. Let's say you, and this is reasonable, let's say you were able to get 500,000 followers, 500,000 followers, which is doable.
Right.
And let's say out of the 500,000 that you have, you decide to put out a record or a single.
Right.
And you just say, hey, I'm going to give you this for $1.99.
Yep.
And 100,000 of those 500,000 people
buy
that one little record that you put out. That one song that's just a crazy anthem.
Right.
Now it's a big world out here. But you just got 500 and you only got 100,000 to buy.
Yep.
Just for that 1 year, you just made close to $200,000.
Yep.
And it really works like that. And see, a lot of us don't think out of the box. You don't think about how in Japan or China, how they love hip hop.
Right.
You don't think about, let me create a record and get on the internet and search for one of their artists to do a feature. Because now my audience and my followers
just expanded
here. But we got these Japanese artists who have literally 4 or 5 million, 10 million followers, and they ain't even superstars. But this artist from USA has partnered with this artist over here for a feature.
Right.
And that artist right there, they got 6 million followers. Now you sell that one record.
Yeah, and see how that goes. And you probably
if 1 million of their followers pay $1 for your record.
You making more than a label artist getting screwed right now, stuck in a contract.
So Let me tell y'all what I'm telling y'all now. What I'm giving Deszi now out of years. My wife walking here right now, she stabbed me in the throat because people pay for this.
Right.
I mean, people pay for the information I'm telling you. But if you want to, if you think about, if you decide to think out the box and say, where can I maximize what I have? Start thinking about target marketing. The big boys do it. You can do it too. You don't have to be. You don't have to be famous in your hood.
Right.
Yeah. You know when you talk about, and I learned this from Nat Robinson. When you talk about who is Milk D, top billing. You talk about MC Light and longevity. When y'all didn't know who or what they were doing over here. You know where they were making their money?
Overseas.
Licensing overseas.
Yeah.
That's where
it is.
That's where the millions came from. That's where they eat off of checks still today.
I believe it.
They did 15 to 20 years ago.
Yeah.
You follow me?
Yep.
So I say all this to say, create yourself. Look, decide where can I maximize what I have, and start thinking creatively out of the box. And the last thing I say is, you get what you pay for. I know everybody's looking for a deal. Everybody's looking for this. You search me out, call me, find me, and then I say, oh yeah, I talk to you, but my retainer is $150 an hour.
We're gonna make them pay for. Hey, bro, it sounds like we need to be having a little session with some people on the camera underneath here. No.
Because I'm just giving this. I'm giving it to you. I like the way that my clients come to me. It's organic. I just.
You like the energy that is coming back to you. Okay, all right.
This is you. I love you. Honestly, yeah, I do. So I give this, but that ain't what.
Right.
Because it becomes overwhelming.
It does.
And you're gonna notice once you build your brand. I'm not saying this to you. I'm saying this to the audience. When you build your brand, and you build you.
Right.
It'll come.
Right.
When you just living your life, the people who are supposed to be with you
will be.
They're gonna seek you out.
Right.
You're not gonna have to. You're not gonna have to. Now, if you're doing a multi-level marketing thing, whole different thing. I've done all that. Desi's done all that. It's a whole different life. But when you really just walking in your life, people come to you, man.
So, brother,
that's what I'm saying.
You gave them gems. I love gems. That's what this is all about. We went through history. I appreciate it, man. Us being here as fathers now with gray hair, as you say now, and our kids in college now. It's crazy where we are now, right? Brother. And we got girls too. We got boys and we got girls. So this is gonna be exciting to see what the next chapter of our life is gonna be, man. The pictures we're gonna be posting soon of our kids. So that's what this is all about.
I don't plan on no grandpa pictures no time soon. I don't care what you say. None of that.
yeah, we're going to take a long time. I told my baby girl, maybe 32 or 35, you'll be ready.
Yeah, that's a good age to get married.
She said 32, 35. I said, yeah, baby, maybe about live your 20s first. But no, bro, people ask me like, why are you doing this? Or what are you doing? I said, bro, I don't even know. I said, but I know I got a lot of people I know have done a lot of great things, and I just want them to tell their story. That's all. Like your story, I've always felt like, even you not telling me everything, I already knew a lot of stuff you did and you didn't get the recognition. But in my eyes, I was like, you know what? He's just been a trooper with it. But today I got a platform, so I'm going to use it. That's all it's about, man. But everybody knows this Jonathan Niblack. I'm going to post some stuff on here. If you got links, I don't know how things work for you because yours is more through network. But if it's anywhere people can reach out to you, because people may see this and want to be an artistry and they want to feel like it's development. I'm sure you won't say no. Just give me some links, and I'm gonna throw it up there for everybody to see it. But this your boy Jonathan Niblack.
What I'll do is I'll send you an email, and it's I'm gonna send you my damage control email because I keep it active even though I really don't use it. But if people want to reach me, I still check it. It comes to me, alerts on my phone.
Gotcha.
I'll send you that. So for those who are really serious, I mean, they can reach out. If something
we'll be able to discern the ones who are real about their business, man. Yeah. But. Hey, you guys, that was good information. That's all I got, bro. We ain't got no more questions. You said everything you need to say. Anything else you want to get off your chest? Anything you want to say? Anybody you left out that you want to give shots out to? Or are you good to go?
I'm good to go. Only thing I'm gonna say is, truly follow your heart. Just follow your heart. That's gonna be your best compass.
And I'm gonna try to get you on. Look, we're gonna do this again, y'all. But I'm gonna get Jonathan to phone some friends. Because there's some people that I ain't got on here yet. I'm going to reach out to because everybody doing what I'm doing. Now I know why nobody wasn't reaching back. All of a sudden, I was talking to you about doing this, right? And now I see everybody on Zoom doing interviews. I was like, oh, that's why ain't nobody hit me back, because they all.
No, I'll make someone come on.
we all doing the same thing. So we're gonna phone a friend to bring some people in here. All right, bro. That's all I got. Hey, thank you guys. Get your mind right, get your body right, get your spirit right, and let's just keep uplifting each other. And don't forget my Each One Help One push group on Facebook. We're still 50,000 strong. Everybody, especially in this time, that's funny that I have this group out here that's going to be needed at the end of all of this, because people are going to need to get job placements again at the end of this. So let's keep taking time out of your day if you can help connect people back with jobs, because I'm telling you, it's going to be thousands of people. I know tons of them already, man. I'm in the car industry, and I see people with credit apps and people saying, I'm a hold off because my job just laid off my husband and my wife. So it's real.
Yeah.
And we're going to need to keep helping. So Each One Help One push. I'm going to put the link up there. You guys click on it, join the group. Let's help everybody find careers again. And maybe we can do some trading. You can teach us some other things. Entrepreneurship is what Corona is teaching us. Let's get prepared to be entrepreneurs. So if stuff like this happens again, man, we're not in need of a job to keep us going. Let's use it as a blessing. It's a miracle. Something can happen out of this, and it may not be going back to a job. That's all I got. I'm out, big dog.
You too, man. Be good.
All right. Peace out.